time has come. The time has come for both parties to make a shared commitment to devote all their energy to accomplishing a successful negotiation by the beginning of March. We need intensive, serious, ongoing negotiations that are characterized by a commitment to reach an agreement. If we can do that, we will honor the commitment our fans have made. We will spare ourselves and our players extraordinary losses, and we will have a game and an economic structure that we can all look back on some years from now and say, we did a pretty good job, we got it right, it's better for everyone.
And that leads us into our Around the League presented by Sears segment. Mr. Around the League himself, Jason Lockenfora, joins our program here for the first time today. And from ProFootballTalk.com as well as NBC Sports, the self-made man, former counselor himself from West Virginia. I cede some time to my colleague at the end, Mike Florio. Good to see you, Mike.
Great to be with you.
So why... here's what fans don't get here, and I consider myself a fan. I don't understand. Jeff Pash is saying we need to have a commitment. Does that mean the league's calling up the Players Association saying let's meet and they're being told no? What's going on here?
Depends who you talk to. I mean, you talk to both sides and you hear at times, well, we want to sit down and they won't sit down. Well, then the PA says, well, we want to sit down and the league doesn't want to sit down. Regardless, we know moving forward they have a series of dates now where they will sit down and hopefully establish some positive momentum from meeting to meeting and begin to pick away at certain issues. A committee that works on revenue sharing, a committee that works on rookie salary wages, a committee that works on overarching principles like what percentages of the pie are going to go here or there.
Now let's talk about the percentages, because we keep hearing that the owners want to hack down the amount of revenue, the percentage of revenue that goes to the players. 18%. We hear that number 18% quite a bit, to go down to 41%. Is that truly what the ownership and the management of the NFL is offering?
Well, it all depends upon the perspective. The idea is the owners want to take more money off the top before they cut up the pie. The idea is shrink what the players get on a percentage basis, but then grow the pie. And that's where the 18-game season comes into play. That's the way you help grow the pie. But there's been so much blowback from the players about growing the pie by adding 2 regular season games that now the owners have to go back and try to figure out some other way to grow the pie in a way that the players will accept, because I don't know how much progress they're ever going to make on this 18-game season.
Is there a breakthrough? I mean, if you had to choose a breakthrough subject, because we're going to have one at some point, whether it's either between now and March and now and the playing season, or now and into the playing season.
The key is, when does the clock strike 12 for both sides?
Well, you just heard Jeff Pash said it's March.
And they're trying to convince the union that the union should behave as if the clock strikes 12 for them in March. That's why Jeff Pash talks about all the hundreds of millions that free agents will lose by not becoming free agents. He wants to get the union's attention that the clock doesn't strike 12 in September when game checks are lost. The clock strikes 12 in March when 500 free agents don't become free agents and don't go out and hit the market.
Right, and I think ultimately breakthrough is trust. Because what the league is selling is, listen, guys, if you give us cap credits to keep building new stadiums, if you let us take some things off the top so that we do concessions ourselves and not have to go to outside, and that becomes a revenue stream for us versus paying someone to run our concessions. If you let us account for more of our costs before we start giving you your pie is going to get bigger because the whole pie is going to get bigger. But right now, D. Smith and those guys are saying, well, wait a minute, we're not ready to roll anything back because we're not sure what you say you're going to do because what you're going to do.
Well, they keep saying that the league has an open books, and it just seems that's an issue.
They need to get past that.
Yeah,
they got to get the league isn't going to open the books, and they can huff and puff all they want as a union. What the players need to say is, we know why you're not opening the books. You're not opening the books because there is no justification on your books to do this. You want to balance out what you think was a bad deal. You want to take money back from us because you think you did a bad deal last time. And if the players could just get past this notion that they won't open the books, maybe some progress can be
made. And they do get to see all revenues. They can go to an outside firm, independent of either party, and have those numbers audited. Every year they can go to 2 individual teams and say, we want to see all of everything that goes into your revenue stream. Now, they don't get to see all the costs, And that's why the union would say we don't have the full picture of what these revenues mean because we don't know every single ancillary cost.
But that all comes from this idea of we don't know why the league wants to do this. Why do they want to reopen this deal? Well, because both sides recognize the players got a great deal 5 years ago, and now is the time not to tilt it all the way back. Jeff Pash said today he wants it to be even. He wants that the players and the league will feel good about this deal 4 years, 8 years, 12 years down the road.